Hey YouTube, it's the start of 23, meaning it's goal setting season. If you are new to this channel, this is where I document my recovery process, recovering from a stroke that I suffered in 2012. And so yeah, lately I've been reflecting on this past year and really thinking about my goals for 2023. And so just to go straight into it, some of the reflections that I had in 2022, firstly is, recovery wise, I really did not get the most that I could have from my rehab program. And this was due to a multitude of reasons. I switched jobs, I switched rehab providers, and then my availabilities and the rehab practitioners' availabilities kept on clashing, so we couldn't meet up and have our weekly sessions. So there was a lot of start and stop in that aspect. And this also flowed on to how I acted with my home program. So I definitely was not consistent with my rehab program at home. So I didn't really do any of the exercises that they prescribed me to do, which is really not good. Secondly is, I guess a big thing is I got demotivated from my why, in the sense that I lost how important it was for me to be able to fully recover. And a big bit of backstory is, originally when I first had my stroke, I made it my goal that by the 10th year I must be fully recovered, and that 10th year was last year in 2022, and it's 2023 now, but I'm still recovery wise in the same spot that I was end of 2021. And so that stagnation was really difficult for me. And just to explain further, what it means to fully recover for me is that I'm able to play all the instruments that I was able to play prior to my stroke. And so these are, the drums, the guitar, and the piano. Thankfully, recently I've been able to get to the stage where I can play the drums, even though if it's not perfectly. Being able to get to this stage was a big motivator for me, because I could see and feel that, I've achieved something. But the gap between the drums and the guitar and piano is just really large, and that gap really got to me in 2022 because I couldn't feel that I was progressing onto that next stage. Just because the finger dexterity required to play these instruments is so complex. It was just very difficult for me to get to that point where I can be able to play those instruments. And so these reflections led me to think about what I'm going to do differently in 2023. And there's three main things that I am going to try and commit myself to do differently in 2023. Firstly is to be ruthless in my assessment of my rehab providers. And I'm thankful that I'm in the position where I can say that I'll be doing this and that I can do this. If something is not working, if I'm not seeing the progress that I want to or I need to, I'm going to speak up. I'm going to raise it earlier. And if nothing happens, then I need to commit myself to move to change providers and find a provider that works for me. Secondly, I'm going to try and be more accountable with myself in terms of my exercises and my home program. I need to consistently do them. And so I know for myself that it doesn't work if I have a set time, or if I block out a period of time in my schedule to focus on exercises. Like, that doesn't work for me, just because there are days where it's not possible to do them at that time, or whatever the reason. And so I've set up daily reminders for myself, so then I'm forced to, at the end of the day, tick complete or mark complete for that task. So a continuation of this is, if an exercise is getting too easy, or if I'm not seeing results by week 6 despite my consistent efforts to do these exercises, then I need to change it up, whether it be I need to increase the repetitions or increase the weights or do a different exercise. I need to do something so then it challenges my body to be better. And yeah, what an interesting segue to the last point. But what I want to do differently, lastly, and I guess the main point is to challenge myself to do new things. And one of the things that I've been meaning to do for a while now is, I've wanted to learn how to dance, whether it's going to be like some sort of short routine without my arm or foot getting in the way. I actually did dance at my sister's wedding. I think it was last year or the year before. But yeah, link above to that performance. It was very enjoyable for me to dance and learn how to dance to it, but it was also really challenging at the same time because my arm and leg kept freezing up, and then this in turn just made me self-conscious, and the anxiety of that and the stress, just makes the condition worse for my arm and my leg. But I am really looking positively to this point, or this challenge that I'm going to try and commit myself to, because similar to how I want to be able to play all my instruments, I definitely feel like new activities or new challenges will enable me to create those new neural pathways for my brain to relearn how to use my hand and my foot. But yeah, what about you guys? What worked for you in 2022? What hasn't? What are your goals? Write them down below. I think it'll be very interesting to be able to have this wealth of knowledge in the comments section. So, if later on in your recovery you need ideas, you can come back to this video and search the comments section and see what other people have tried and what's been tried and tested. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.